Astro World, Astro family, we back again another week on this Hardwood and Astro Turf Talk Show. Peoples, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for joining the stream. People, we got 6 people in the stream right now. People, hit that like button, please. I beg you. I beg you.
Smash it up.
Hit that like button. I like right now. I want to see 6 likes on the stream. Don't even waste time. Don't waste time, peoples. But yeah, thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in this week. Hakeem, what's the action, man?
Well, you know the usual. Everything's good. Life is blessed. I just came from a gym workout today. Had a busy day at work today, and just getting ready to chop it up with the guys as usual. And they set some NBA and F1.
Nice. Right from
Yes, sir. I'm doing pretty good. Also, a random back pain that I get with the blue. You would swear that I was doing something.
That sounds like I come from basketball.
I don't think so. I was just saying at work and just randomly I just feel this pain, like this dawn on me, and I don't know. It just come out of nowhere. Again? I guess it's old age. 20 a little bit, but I don't know. We getting it there. We approaching that 3-0.
To tell you the truth, Raymond, I actually had a bit of back pain after basketball on Friday. I was like, what is this? Oh my God. Am I aging?
And that's just soreness from jumping all the time. Like if you play basketball and you jumping all the time.
That's a crazy thing. I was saying to myself, how these men is go there and play every other night, sometimes back to back. I said, just like what after play on a Friday once a week, I'd be so sore. I'd be so sore.
Mine is one play basketball, and that's day. My body be telling me, nah, bro, take a break. I don't know they
exactly.
You gotta get
the NBA players, man.
Them recovery ice showers, like an ice bath.
True.
Yeah, to help recover and what's not, massages, all the extra stuff,
Yeah, they got a whole team set aside for that, so they got the advantage in that regard. So
plus, all them dudes play basketball anyway, so them body accustomed to running about quite a bit.
And working out. Men is play basketball. I see many videos with KD and Booker and thing working out after the game. These men are saying different.
Yeah. When be training, and a lot of guys be actually doing a pre-workout before the game as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, warm-ups. Getting muscles ready. But good to hear that the guys good. We can jump into this thing, peoples. Look, the Boston Celtics have been pretty good throughout the season. Not a lot of complaints from them, but every time them face the Nuggets so far, I think they've struggled. What is really holding them back? Right, I can start with you. What is really holding back the Celtics And can they actually make it to the championship? Can they get that
Um,
championship at the end of the day?
but you understanding the Celtics a little bit. I would say that the Celtics have been phenomenal this season. To start right off the bat, it's been the most impressive team. A 10-point differential on the season so far. I think is only going to get better because, as I thought about a couple of weeks ago, they got one of the easiest schedules remaining in the league. So it's only going to get better. I'm pretty sure they will probably finish with a point differential over 10. But they they kind of, when they play these big teams, they fall into that pattern from the finals run against the Warriors, where
Mhm.
in the late game the offense bogs down, it becomes a lot of ISO ball, and they can't get anything good on offense to go. Jason Tatum in that last game against the Nuggets specifically, he was kind of like Jason Tatum from the finals in a way. He was very pedestrian in the game when he needed to be the MVP of the team. He didn't show up. Well, he didn't have a great game. Let me see. Let me put it like that. But
Mhm.
I think it's really comes down to that at the end of the day. Nothing else outside the late game execution, I would say, is the Boston Celtics weakness. They have they have good size, they have flexibility, they have everything you need in a championship team. But I think it comes down to, a poor decision maker to some extent. Not a true. They don't have like a true point guard on the team to really steer the ship to some extent. Derek White is their point guard and Drew Holiday, but I won't call them like quintessential point guards. And he likes of like CP3 that would run the show and tell you where to go and where you need to be, especially in those critical moments, like a Mike Conley,
Right.
anybody like that. Uh,
All players.
I would say that is their weakness, decision making in the final minutes of the game, and playing a little bit too much ISO ball, not trusting the ball movement that pretty much got them where them is right now, and a little bit of the 3-point shooting variance. Like they shoot one of the highest amount of threes in the league, and at times they shoot a little bit too much to me, to the point
Mhm.
where they could live or die by the tree. And when you go into playoffs, they can, and there will be many nights where the trees ain't going because teams focusing in on you more defensively, especially on the perimeter, and it's going to be tough. So those two main points I would say are what is holding back the Celtics. The specifically more though the late game execution that has been a constant identity, even though it's a negative one, a constant identity for the team, and it seems to be something that they haven't really breaking out of yet when they're playing the best of the best opponents specifically.
Look,
Thoughts,
I ain't
Hakeem?
say- I'm gonna say pressure. Pressure is what's holding back the Celtics.
Russia burst
They,
pipes.
I was saying, like they, as everyone said, they have identity crisis in terms of finishing, closing games, stepping up to the moment in big games. I feel like we've been talking about the Celtics as being one of the best teams in the not only the East but the entire league for quite some time. Celtics have been consistently doing well, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, making it to the NBA Finals just a couple years ago, and what happens? They choke. They succumb to the pressure, and they stop playing what basketball that would have made them the number one contending teams over the years. So I just feel like one, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, they have poor laps in judgment in the most crucial time. And I saw a statistic where it said Jason Tatum ranked among the worst in the NBA in terms of being clutch. And for a superstar, that's not something you want to hear. That should never go hand in hand with your superstar, especially one that can actually shoot and is as talented as Jason Tatum. So to me, the is a mental struggle for the Celtics, and they're not judged by the regular season. They're judged on how well they do in the postseason. And when you realize they come up against these big teams, they can't beat the Nuggets, which is that's no major disrespect. A lot of teams struggle against the Nuggets. When the Nuggets are ready to step up, they just will beat any team, right? So that's no disrespect to
I
the
want to start
Celtics.
there. If there's one team that know to flip the switch in the final minutes, is the Nuggets. In
Nuggets.
that seeing game, the Ventus do so flip.
Yep.
Celtics can't store a point. The defense just went all the way up. The offense execution was just flawless. And right now, the Nuggets got to be the team to beat. So you got to shout out the Nuggets for real. I know the
Well,
Celtics have their struggles, but the Nuggets just a better team. Nuggets are just a better
Most
team.
definitely. Nuggets just know to elevate their game at the right time. Those players be
Hmm.
like they be cruising throughout the game, the first 3 quarters, a bit in the fourth quarter, and then they say, no, time to get serious. And then they just elevate their game. So that's no disrespect to the Celtics. The Nuggets, they just know to win basketball games when it counts. But that shows what the Celtics are not yet. They're not at that level yet. They don't know how to win the games, the most crucial games, which which is gonna really let everyone know what's their identity. So at the end of the day, the pressure is the main issue. Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown not being clutch at the right times. They do have their moments, but overall not being clutch in the big games, and just poor judgment, which comes back to not being clutch. Just poor judgment. They don't really rotate the ball, as Rayvon said. They live and die by the three. When they're hot, they're hot. When they're cold, they're cold. But really and truly, it comes down to Tatum and making bad decisions and pressure, like and just succumbing to the pressure. That's what's holding back the Celtics. Until they get that fix, they're just gonna flame out, second round, maybe
And I
third
want
round.
to add to that is it's not just pressure from bigger teams. I think it's just pressure in general. Like
Wait,
last year, we saw how they buckle against the Heat. Like I think once I think they have an issue with overcoming early pressure. So I feel like if teams could really get up in them face early on, stop them from scoring, stop them from finding an early rhythm, because they're fast starters basically. Like once that is in place, then they're gonna struggle to climb that mountain, and it shows every single time. And I remember a while back we had this discussion right on about who are the clutch players for the Celtics, and your first thoughts was like, oh, Tatum, give Brown, and I was like, yeah, I think saying Drew
Fair way.
Holiday might probably be a better player. Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
Fair
mean,
way at this point.
if your star players can't really, that's probably their best bet. But like I said, if your star players can't show up, then hey, it's gonna be a struggle to actually make it to the finals and get that chip that they've been um going after for so long.
Mhm. I also I I I think Jalen Brown specifically, to me, when I watch the games and I see them perform, I feel like Jason Tatum is more the shrinker than Jalen Brown, in my opinion.
I
I
feel
just feel like he's more aggressive.
they go hand in hand. I feel
Not
like they go hand in
really,
hand.
to some extent. In that same last game, Jalen Brown had 40 something points. And I feel like just if Jason Tatum could have given him at least 23 or 25, that could make a world of difference. But even in the finals against the Warriors, Jalen Brown was playing out of his world. I could see it. You could see the
He,
want to oozing out of Jalen Brown, and it
I
just
mean,
felt like
he had good
Jason
stats, but
Tatum was
he
staying
missed some.
from the
Mhm.
moment to some extent. I mean, yes, the defense is going to be key toward Jason Tatum because he's the best player on the team. But you know what they say: the great players overcome all the great defense or all the great attention that is played. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know if it's a product of Jalen Brown not getting as much attention as Jason Tatum, which I don't think is necessarily the case. Um, yes, that could play a factor, but I just feel like with Jalen Brown, I could see he wants it more. Not to say that Jason Tatum doesn't work, but I just see it more on the court, and I see it more in the production on the court in the big moments where they need the production the most. I
Man,
don't know if you guys see that as well.
both of them players are true artists. I
I can't
find
say that.
Tatum would the way I find Brown seems more aggressive. I find Jalen Brown's
Right.
more
I think that's
aggressive
the
in
best word to
majority
use.
of the
Yeah.
games. But there are too
Hmm.
many times, especially in the NBA Finals, where he dribbles and loses the ball.
Right.
Someone steals the opponent steals the ball from him easily.
Mhm.
Yeah,
A
because
bad
there's no
he misses
trust
he
at
misses a
that
layup.
point.
He misses a layup. He's going to get his points because he's through to the sheer volume of shots he's going to get up, and the more possessions really just it goes between him and Tatum. But the more mistakes he makes like that is on a regular, especially when you will least expect it. No, Tatum, I think Tatum's not going to get the ball stolen from him. He's not going to lose possession. But what's going to happen? He's going to break a three
Make a
or
bad pass.
make a bad
Yeah.
pass. So they have their own identity of messing up the game, so to speak. But
Mhm.
I personally think it could definitely go. It could go 50-50, maybe 60-40 on a certain nights, but most definitely that they could share the blame for sure. That they have more enough blame to share between two of them players, without a
Yeah,
doubt.
ultimately, I don't think that they will win the finals. I think they got the best, cohort of players to do so. But I think ultimately, like these shortcomings have been pretty repetitive, and I think it ultimately hold them back. And I'm pretty sure the Nuggets is the team that you're going to be looking at in terms of projecting who you think will be in the finals. And if they got go to the Nuggets, I don't see them winning the championship.
I mean, we give them more time. I still think they're one of the better teams, if not the best team in the East. And
Yeah.
things click at the right time. Of course, barring no injuries, I still think they have a good chance. Especially if they finish with the number one
Yeah.
best record overall. The home advantage is going to go a long way for them. But let's give it some time. See what happens in playoffs. Seedings may play a crucial role in how the teams progress. But they still got a good chance. They still have more than a fighter's punch. You know what I'm
I
saying?
I don't neglect that at all. But I think ultimately at the end of the day, I want to pick them to win, especially if we're looking at it and seeing the Nuggets in the finals specifically. I don't think yeah, the Nuggets specifically. Right now, everything going through the Nuggets. The West in the West, everybody got to be is the West against the Nuggets, and in the East, I feel like the East is so lopsided to some extent. We expect the Celtics to make the conference finals at
Yeah.
least. And
Yes,
we
once they
got
make
Nuggets
it,
sound
I
like
think
Bucks for me. I think
well,
Bucks
yeah,
can make it
the
because
Bucks will give them a
Bucks
chance,
got
but
more fight.
yeah, I would say the Bucks could give them a chance, but we expect the Celtics to make the conference finals at least. And if they do go past that and they go out facing Nuggets, I just think that they will. Yes, they have the chance, but I don't think they would succeed.
it, it sounds to me
At
that
this point, a fast start in it
Nuggets
could definitely beat Celtics.
you got the Nuggets sound like them is Anthony Joshua and the Celtics is Ngannou. That's what you got that song.
I just
I think
I just
That
quite
was not even a
confident.
fair fight. That was not even a fair fight.
that's what
I'm
it
just
sounds
very
like.
confident. I just very confident in the Nuggets right now. They are
Nuggets will
playing
never
out
get
of
to the
this world.
finals.
Jokic, huh?
The Nuggets will never get to the finals. How about that?
Yeah, that's a possibility. They might not
It's
get to
all
the finals, but
possibilities,
they are
but
my yeah, it's all possibilities. But there would be my pick right now, and I just don't see any of the teams in the West beating them. I think, as I say, at any time they could flip that switch, and it's game over. And I think that's we only seen a flip switch because it's a regular season. But when it gets to the playoffs, I think that switch can be permanently on. So they're just doing the right things. Jokic playing out of his mind as well, putting himself back in the to the top of the
You
MVP
know,
conversation. Just a couple of weeks
you know what
ago,
you know.
we talking about SG and all sorts of people, but Jokic, do you know?
There's one thing
you'll catch warm.
Mhm.
we kind of mentioned it in the previous streams, right? But there's one thing we gotta mention again. It's because the West is so loaded, right? And the teams are generally even, I would say, in the West compared to the East. No matter who the Nuggets face from first round to let's say the conference finals, it's gonna be tough. I can't even
It's gonna be tough,
say
yeah.
I can't even say guaranteed that they could easily go minimum of 6 games in every round, maybe 7 for the most part, because no team is gonna be easy. Unlike the East, the Celtics might get some favorable matchups, might sweep a team or a gentleman sweep in the first round, second round. They might have a little more time to rest and prepare. While the Nuggets might begin beating down over time. So
Yeah, but that's the thing that's beat them because then when the team come from playing all those games start off hot, then it's a wrap. Celtics can find it hard to warm up
Yeah.
in the
I
series.
yeah, I find that Celtics is actually play around with them food a little bit too much because they like the last playoff they played how many 7 game series? Like two or say three?
I
Three
think
rounds that
so.
they were in.
And some
Yeah,
of them
like
were up like
and the year
3-11 or
before that,
3-1. It was one that
yeah,
they
when they made
yeah.
the finals, it was the same thing. I feel like they take really long to actually to win the series. So the Celtics might be in the position that you're talking about in terms of carrying a series longer than it need to be, and then when
I
the
feel
finals come, might not got the
this team is
gas.
slightly more mature team.
Yeah, I think so to some
I
extent
think
too.
they
But that's their
understand.
pattern.
Yeah, it was. Well, we see what happens now. But I think it's gonna be interesting. The West so being so loaded, I think whoever makes it to the NBA finals could potentially be battered. To be honest,
The West is
That's a
loaded,
good point.
but
Yeah.
one of these teams took a big hit recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your boy Rayvon like
Yeah.
got injury there,
And
and like
I got
are we going to go ahead, Hakim? You want to say
I
something?
got put on the stream. Lakers beat Timberwolves. Right on hold that L. It's like
Oh, the man was missing Rudy Gobert.
hey,
Cat,
Bow to my
Carl
gloat now.
hey,
Anderson.
hey, I don't want to hear all the
Come
excuses.
on,
I just hear
man. We missed
Lakers.
the
I don't want to hear all
four
the
every
excuses.
regular
I don't want to hear
rotation
all the
players.
excuses.
Come
Lakers beat them.
on.
It is what it
And
is.
I said
Y'all
when I
hold
started
hand.
watching that game, even though I support the Timberwolves, AD should dominate this game because there's nobody to stop him at all. The
Hmm.
Timberwolves' identity all season have been playing big. They are missing two
It don't matter
of the
who was
Two
biggest players
there.
on the
bigs.
team.
It don't matter who
The
was
the
there.
the, the
Clam
two
chowder
the two
all over.
identity defining players of the team.
Hear the man
And
talking.
come on. Come on, Hakim. They should have
Hakim
win that
killing
game.
me.
Lakers
They
for the
should have
W.
win that game.
Hey,
Of
It is
course,
what
talk
it
your
coming into the
talk,
week,
Hakim.
I mean, when you get the W again, you could glow all over the place. But full
Talk.
strength, that is not going that way whatsoever. Yeah, they will have
you,
13.6 rebounds and 2 assists. And
you
then
see
people can
all
want to know bit
you,
where
you
80
see all
is. Where was 80 this whole
you
game?
see all in the first round.
I don't even know. Right now, I don't even know if we could keep that number one seed. That's the thing.
Right now y'all in third actually.
I know. I know
Right.
very well. We gotta
So
play the Clippers. We gotta play the Clippers on Tuesday. I think that's
mhm.
one of our marquee matchups for the week. And then we got to play the Nuggets 3 times for the rest of the season.
Oh
So
my lord. That's pain.
if if Gobert is gonna miss more time, we know Cat is definitely gonna miss more time. We got Anderson, who is one of the better defensive players on the team as well. I am not sure was his timetable for return. The Timberwolves have got the injury bug at probably the one of the
The
worst
worst.
times of the
Yep.
season heading into the playoffs. Like, geez, it is kind of sad because it has been a revelation of a season with a lot of
Mhm.
expectations from last year and I would say a relatively disappointing season. And then just coming out the gates and putting the league on notice for the most part. Had the number one seed for pretty much the whole season until Cat went down. But the West has been so tough. It's been so close at the top. So they never got a chance to, make some separation, to find some cushion. And now we're seeing that. Cat has missed with 4 games now. And just like that, Timberwolves in third. So it's going to be a tough one. I I don't know what is going to happen for the rest of the season. We got like what's that about just
It's
under close to 15 games left.
y'all in a
I
struggle
think you
that
guys
bad.
will
That's
still
what's
make it. I
they
honestly
should make
think
it to the
you guys
playoffs.
will
I
still
agree.
make it.
Yeah,
They
they'll
should
make
make
it
it
the
to the
playoffs for
playoffs.
sure.
For sure.
Yeah,
I would not
playoffs for
spend
sure.
anything less.
But
But
I don't know if they'll keep you number one
it,
seed. I am very skeptical about that. I don't trust. No, let me not say trust. I don't think Anthony Edwards has evolved to that point where he can carry the team on his own. Um, it takes very special players to really just be a one man show. LeBron James, Luka Doncic, um, Nikola Jokic. Those are the few. Those are three players who has the offensive skill set to. I guess they're not really defensive
when
in
you
that
say
regard, but
one man show, you
offensive
mean
skills.
carry? You mean carry the team? LeBron James for sure. I agree with that. But what you mean carry the team? Because Jokic didn't
Luka
really
Doncic.
carry the team.
What you talking about? You
Jokic. I
watched
was
that
saying Jokic.
season when
I was saying
when,
Jokic. I
when
was saying
yeah
Jokic.
yeah, and they saying you watched that one season when he went the MVP when there was a 6 seed, and
He
Jokic
got,
had
but he got whipped
had
out first round. He got no whipped out first round in the playoffs.
dog. But he carried that team. If you give anybody that team that Jokic had, there's no way that team would have been a 6 seed. When you look at the point differential with Jokic on and off that court with that team, it was almost 20 something points or something like that difference when he was on the court versus when he was off the court. That team was that team would have been a lottery team without Jokic for sure. So to take that team to 6 seed is a carry job to me. I think the players that have the ability to impact the statistical categories of points, rebounds, and assists on such a high level, like Jokic, Doncic, and LeBron, are the best type of players to be able to carry a team.
But
I
we said
don't think Anthony
I
Edwards has that skill set.
disagree with LeBron for sure. He did it time and time again. We know that. We don't have to go there. But when Luka did it, Jalen Brunson was still there, if I'm not mistaken. Jalen Brunson was still there balling, like a number two man. I mean, like, Luka didn't really have to carry a team per se by himself. He always had players with him. He even had Dennis Smith Jr. his first season when he came there.
But I don't count.
Yeah, but you still
Do you
need him
count? Do you
to be
count?
the catalyst
First
for
of
the
all,
team.
exactly. First of all, Jalen Brunson wasn't the player that he is now. Let me get that out of the way.
He,
Number one,
he always was. He
Jalen
just didn't
Brunson
get a
was
chance.
not.
He didn't get a chance to shine really. Cause Luka hogging
Jalen
the
Brunson
ball.
has evolved.
Nah, he has to
Jalen
be
Brunson
developed.
has evolved.
Uh,
Yeah, Jalen Brunson has evolved from where he has come from in Dallas. We can't compare the player that Jalen Brunson is. Nobody thought that Jalen Brunson would have been this player whatsoever.
Well, the
I
next
am
GM did.
certain of it.
The next GM did. Had to.
That's a whole bunch of nepotism right there. He father is one of the coaches. He Tom Thibodeau is like an uncle to he. That's a whole heap of nepotism right there if you ask me. But
The
outside of
man
that,
knew the talent. The man knew the talent up front.
of course, you wouldn't you bet on your son? Come on,
You can see.
come on, come on. But at the end of the day, yes, Luca had Jalen Brunson. I don't think Jalen Brunson was realized at that point. But those type of players are the players that I think can carry a team. I just don't think that Anthony Edwards has developed that type of play as yet. He's still a scorer at the end of the day above all else. When you look at Luca, when you look at LeBron, when you look at Jokic,
They were to
whatever
facilitate.
they make sure, yes, they're getting the team involved regardless. Regardless. However you try to guard him, the team get involved and they give it in quality list. And the Edwards does not have that skill set, those qualities developable in him. He's still young, he's still 22. Remember that? He still can develop those skill sets, but I don't see him that like I don't think he'll be able to carry the team. And I just feel that he could get streaky in terms of shooting that sometimes, and that could bog down his whole game at times too. That he could go like 5 for 22 or something in the game, and it's all lost if he doesn't perform. So it's going to be tough for them to stay afloat at the top of the West. I think they don't follow the top five, but I don't know if they'll keep the number one seed. I think the Nuggets might actually get the number one seed.
you actually got to be
Well,
a
well,
very
I will
versatile
agree. I will
player
agree with
in
you there
order
in terms
to.
of number one seed. There's
Mm.
no way I can see Timberwolves maintaining the number one seed or even reclaiming it, I should say,
Mhm.
unless there are two players, unless Cat and Rudy Gobert returns. Other than that,
Rudy will be back within the season, but I don't.
I mean, but anyway,
Cat is
but
expected to miss about a month. Well, they said 6 weeks, so he might not even
6 weeks
be
is
ready
a
for the
lot of game.
playoffs. So yeah,
So,
exactly. He might not even be ready for the playoff. So
as I said, number one seed is always the question. Right now, you guys can probably hope for both. If you can maintain the third or fourth spot, that's possible. But I don't.
yeah,
First two spots definitely out to the question, in my opinion.
yeah. I think the Nuggets and the Thunder got them wrapped up because they have one of the easiest schedules as well for the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Also, so
So with all this being said, do you think that they're going to make it past the first round without Cat? I honestly think so. As long as they
For
got Rudy,
Cat,
yeah.
um, and
Once Rudy's available, I would think that way. But go ahead, Han. Sorry.
no, no, that was basically it. I think that
Oh,
once they have Rudy and the other cast players healthy, who are
mhm.
injured right now, that they'll be able to muster up a wing for the first round at least until
Mhm.
Cat could get back, and then they'll be back to their identity, original
Yeah,
identity for the rest of the season, and then we'll see who they have to face then. But I I think they can make it. I think they can squeeze past. I mean, these are we getting into series games at that point. We're not thinking about just one-off games.
yeah, correct. And then the
So
matchup is such a big deal. Who they get to face
I
that will make a
correct.
difference into how well they perform. Mhm.
Mhm.
so you're saying if they could get past the first one without Cat,
Until Cat get back, basically, it's like
I I I
they are right.
I don't know if they can. I mean, well, it depends on seeding, right? But let's let's say they finish third or fourth, because they're not finishing higher than that. They might potentially have to play. Assuming the other teams are full strength, assuming they can't get past the Clippers, the Suns, they would have to hope. Yeah, that's right now they have to play the Clippers, the Suns, maybe Pelicans. I can't see them getting past neither three of those teams without Cat. Their best bet, right? Honestly speaking, is to hope that they get the Mavericks. The Mavericks are the Kings, and the Kings ain't no
The
sweet win.
Kings?
But that's
I
their
would
best
like
chance
the
to get
Kings for
low.
the Timberwolves, to be honest.
The
That's
Kings?
that,
I
that,
was
that
like,
other
what?
than that, I mean, other than that, I don't see them again. I mean, if the Lakers, I can't say Lakers right now. Lakers aren't in the best form right now. Actually, they've been playing quite well, but the seeding would say otherwise. But when AD and LeBron step into that mode, and Rui Hachimura, if they don't got Cat at least, they ain't got problems. So honestly, I feel like they need. I feel like the Mavs is their best chance of getting out. Other than that, they will be out first round if they don't watch it.
Right now, them best chance of getting out is Anthony Edwards. At the visit he can, but he has shown for the playoffs so far, averaging above 30 in the playoffs so far. Their best hope is him. I ain't gonna
Hey,
lie.
who to beat Rich team? You can't beat the Suns. The Suns got BOKD and oh my god, who's
I
the third
can't
player
say that
again?
the Wolves can't beat the Suns. I can't say that. I can't say that,
Folk
to
yeah.
be honest. Um, I don't know. That's to be seen. I would tear that matchup. The matchup that I wouldn't like if it was the Wolves and we were playing the
Booker.
first round is the Pelicans. The Pelicans, I, I watched them play the Wolves, and Zion is just a matchup nightmare for the Wolves. To be honest, I won't want to see the Pelicans at all if it's the Wolves.
Exactly. There's
That's
no
the
team.
story.
The Mavericks, to me, probably the smallest team I could think about right now. I haven't watched the
But even
Kings play
then,
much this season,
before you get there,
Luca's
right?
gonna be problems.
Before you get there, I truthfully I don't like the Kings. I don't like the Kings as a matchup for the team's full health. But I feel like without Cat, the Timberwolves, which I've seen in the last couple of games, can
Play
play a little
smaller.
bit faster to match. Yeah, and faster to match with the Kings. So I think that series may end up being a better series with Cat out. To be honest,
If
Mm.
Cat not playing, y'all don't got a chance against the Kings. Kings can
I
run
can't say that
circles
at
around
all.
y'all.
Now they got a chance.
I,
I think they
Run
got the best chance
circles
against
around
the
y'all.
I think
Kings
they
and the
got. I
Mavs.
think they got a chance with Cat out. To be honest, because a
Five
Cat love kind
games.
of slowed down the
Five
pace. To be
games
honest,
are gone.
nah,
5
that's a
games and y'all
stretch.
gone.
That is a
That's not a
stretch.
stretch. 5
That
games
is
and
a
y'all
big
gone.
stretch. Come on,
Like
man.
you said, like
Put
you
some
said,
respect on him, man. There, man.
and Anthony Edwards gonna turn up, me. And if he don't turn up, and you know he's a roll of the dice when it comes to turning up. If you
Well,
don't
not
lamp him, that's it.
Not recent,
historically.
not
But
recently.
So
he
Yeah, I
far,
won't
is.
say recently.
not in the playoffs, not in the playoffs historically. Let me say that, and it's only been two
Hey,
series that he's playing the playoffs. So there's small sample size, yes, but he's
yeah, he's
elevated his
that.
game each playoffs. So I can't say that he's not going to turn. I can say in the regular
He's a
season,
first for
yeah, he
everything, buddy.
probably
He's a first for everything.
he probably
Some
already, and it could
some
be a first where he
sometimes
could
it's
be a
got that
first where he
one team
exploded.
or that one group of players that has just changed the whole narrative of a player's career. So I don't know, man. Kings might just be that team.
I don't know. I
He
feel like
pushing
Anthony
it.
Edwards
He
been
pushing it.
stepping up.
Pushing that.
Kings might just okay.
As we
I said
believe
it
in the
here.
Kings.
I said it here.
Right,
That's all you
yeah.
need to
This man
know.
had to put Kings flag on all sorts of things last time. It's true. There's a
I
personal
said it
bias to
here.
this.
I digress, bro. I already said it. I'm not gonna even push it. But generally though, around the NBA, um, we got Jordan Poole of all people after like a horrible season for the most part. No scoring points off the bench, kind of similar to how we viewed Clay Thompson and the Warriors role, basically.
Mhm.
Any thoughts on that? Think it's
It's just
sustainable
sad.
for him and maybe
I think
for the team?
I think it's sad that he can pay all that money and can only score off the bench. To be honest, but I think it's a bigger issue at stake. It might
Mm.
The bench unit might be a more cohesive unit to his playing style than the starting lineup. That is a factor. And yeah, how can we start?
No, no,
Yeah,
I get
no,
it, I get it, I
I
get
Nah,
tell you.
nah, nah. He's still
Listen intently.
um, but I just
don't
find
worry, but I
it.
got this song the song clip ready for you, Hakeem.
Well, I just think that it's quite interesting and quite weird that as a player that I thought wanted the role to step up and evolve. I feel like with becoming the face of a franchise to some extent,
Mhm.
Um, you gotta evolve your malleability. I don't even know if that's a word, but your ability to change in whatever
Or
situation.
adaptability.
Yeah, adaptability. Uh, you know, to bend with the situation. So to me, it just seemed like he is going to be the same old player and not evolve past where we've seen his peak been, which is a bench player with the word that you can only play a couple of minutes. He can only catch
Mhm.
fire in a couple of minutes. If you get what I'm saying, that's the kind of the my outlook on it right now. But it's strange. I think that's what we would sum it up as. Just very strange that you can't play well with the stars, but can only play well with the bench.
I mean,
I mean,
all right.
that's been his career identity so far.
Yeah,
I
correct.
mean, what we so after me adding, we won't be forgetting here. He was actually not a bench player at the Warriors in his last season. Really, he was a starting player. And he was also, I think, when they won the chip, I think he started a lot of those games as well. He wasn't coming off the bench in our playoff run, if I'm not mistaken. He really got his he
Some of
started off
them.
as a bench player, but he got his start because Clay was injured, and he stepped up.
Mhm.
But I mean, so he
Yeah.
was playing well as a starter at a point in time. So I think now that he's moved on to the Wizards, I think it's all mental. Like it has to be all mental, and then the systems that they're probably using because at the end of the day, talent is talent, right? Talent can only stay down for so long. So once he gets his head right, I don't know he's gonna have to change a coach. Someone's gonna have to talk to him just to let him realize he has to change his attitude. There's been reports that his attitude's not been the best. He's not been the best. He's
Yeah.
not been the best teammate.
I think that's one of the big
But
things too for real.
but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm very surprised he's is on the bench because in the NBA, once you're getting paid big money, you gotta play. Like
Mhm.
if you were not being paid a lot of money, relatively speaking, as a role player, as a bench player, like 6 man of the year kind of candidate, and you get paid the kind of money that Jordan Poole got, you gotta play, keep your value up. Now, which means he's been playing some serious trash this season, no cap. But
Mhm.
I think he's gonna have to hold the bench for now. But I think once he goes to summer, if the team really still believes in him, so you gonna make this work. I see a significant bounce back in the next season where he's gonna elevate his game. Hopefully they get some players that to make it more of a team. Uh they gotta work between him and Kyle Kuzma. I don't know what Kyle Kuzma and him on the same team playing the way they playing, just not cohesive to wins, right? So they gotta change something there. I don't know if they trade Kyle Kuzma or change. I think they just need a better coach. Maybe they may need a better coach. They might need
Yeah.
a Mike Brown to come in kind of coach. Um, but once Jordan Poole gets his head right, I could see him elevating his game. I kind of felt bad for him. He had the opportunity. Not many players get the opportunity to be a franchise player. The man he had a perfect opportunity and he's been fumbling the bag. But I don't think all hope is lost. There's still hope for Jordan Poole. Get his head right, and next season he could be the man on the Wizards. He can be the guy on Wizards for sure. But someone got to talk to him fast. He may need a mentor or something. Someone has to come and mentor this man, or it's before it's too late.
So
Anything to add, Rayvon? Or you?
nah, we can move. I done talk with Jordan Poole, man. He'll be alright, I guess. I don't know if
Enough
one of
is
my
enough.
see this.
You
Tell me that when I see this Anthony Edwards block. Tell me.
I saw it.
Right.
When I saw it,
You feel me?
I was like, get this man a dunk
You
contest.
feel me?
When I saw it, I was
Oh
like,
my
get this man a
goodness.
dunk contest. I,
This man. And it was to win the game, so it was not like just a random dot in the second quarter.
it was a
Um,
pivotal block.
it was a pivotal block, as you see. Okay.
Mhm.
So let me paint the scenario. What was up to? And the Edwards like free throw line missed the down free throw to put him up three,
I couldn't believe it.
which is horrible. which is
It's poor.
horrible.
It's poor.
I think Tyrese is who got the rebound and immediately sent it down the court to Aaron Neesmith, who was, running down the flank on the right side of the court. The man was look so comfortable with this lid. The man was like, "Yeah, boy, let me just take the game here." Ooh, layup, and the arrow just pulled go stick out to nowhere and swat that thing off the backboard. he had on the rim, dog.
Yo,
He had on the rim.
It was
He
something to
arm
see.
on the bottom of the he arm print on the bottom of the backboard. Drop on the
yo,
ground
that
and
was
get
what.
out flats, dog. That's one of the best blocks I see since LeBron chased down Brown on Iguodala in 2016 NBA Finals, dog. Like, yo, that was something special. And
That's
on
an
top of that, he had
off-handed block
44
too.
points. Yes, the man block it with his left hand too. Right-handed man block it with his left hand. So amazing,
That
spectacular athletic play from Anthony Edwards.
I
Uh,
surprised he didn't get hurt though. To be honest,
I
Just
surprised
with
the
how
he.
sight,
he
it's
landed
almost
to
great.
on the other player,
When they,
I
when they
surprised he
saw
didn't get hurt. Like when he ankle or something, big man. That was commitment, boy.
Yeah,
when they
he
saw that,
said he
right?
wasn't losing that game for nothing.
For sure, for
He
sure.
said
He
it.
could have. He could have. That was the right way to do it. That was the heroic way. After missing a free throw, preventing the other team from going to overtime, getting the win. But don't get twisted. He had to be hurting. He had to be hurting. He just
For
Bro,
sure.
the
He did
adrenaline
say
was
it.
going, but he had to be hurting. Like,
Yeah, he
he had
did
his
say
head
after.
on the backboard, his
Yeah.
arm. Nah, he he was just too ashamed to he didn't want to
No,
rough
he
anything.
admitted he was like, yeah, I hit my head on the back. We know it's hurting though, but he got the win, so he was
Everything's
happy,
good.
man. Yeah.
But that was a block. That was a spectacular block,
that was
and
a block and a half. Like some commentators might say.
For
kudos to him
real.
'cause he didn't. He could have like kind of sulk a bit after he missed the free throw or just kind of like get back
Mhm.
slow in defense. But he
Yeah.
was he was full speed back down the court. And the thing is, you could have even settled for overtime point in time because it's not even they went to shoot the three. The Pacers went to get a layup, which would have tied the
Yeah.
game and probably carried it overtime. So it's not like
Correct.
he didn't even want to settle for overtime. So that was really a winner's mentality. And you can say that
Mhm.
shows like he might be elevating his game. Like he's saying we ain't taking no chances. We going for the win. No, let me get the win. No.
Mhm. Mhm.
But
Understood, man.
as
Sensational
a
stuff,
man in
man.
Minnesota,
Yeah, boy. 44 points to go with our block,
The
man.
man with the
Great.
hawk.
That was a spectacular game. Yeah, boy.
Yup.
Talking about
And you
44,
know
you
what
had
would have
D'Lo.
topped off the whole week for Anthony Edwards is
What?
if he had hit that dunk on AD.
AD
If he
last
had
night,
hit that
boy.
dunk on AD, like he would have
Whew.
been the absolute player of the week
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
boy.
books.
In my highlight reel, boy.
Yeah, bro.
I
Yo, he
wanted
would have
that
been
done to
absolute
go
player of the
so
week.
bad. I wanted that done to go so bad. Gee.
it can
That
happen.
game,
That can happen like that. No, Lakers nation.
no,
It
it
can't
can happen to
happen.
anybody.
Can't happen like that. It can't happen like that.
Anthony Edwards has to have
Anybody could
the
get put
most.
up, buddy. Anybody could get put up.
Anthony Edwards has to have the best missed posters of all time. Like some of these dunks that he go for, and some people that don't go down, it's just like if that had gone down, boy, that would have been something legendary for sure, for
Uh,
sure. But speaking of the
They gonna
Lakers
put he in that
and
category. Dunks. What would have been?
yeah,
Yeah, go ahead.
Corby. But speaking of the Lakers, well, AD and the Lakers, D'Lo had 44 on Friday, I think, to beat the Bucks. When LeBron missed the game. Um, I could pose a question to Hakeem, man. What you think of the opposite optics of the Lakers now that they're having a good stretch of games? D'Lo specifically, what do you think they need from him to continue to keep up the momentum heading into the playoffs?
they need him to be consistent. They need him to don't go cold. He has this habit of going on streaks. When he's hot, he's hot. When he's cold, he's cold. But we just need him to be consistent. Try to be averaging 20 points. If you get 20 points per game as an average around there, that'd be solid. Uh, and definitely when the playoffs come, to just elevate yourself and be able to rotate and pass the ball. We're going to use a scorer and a facilitator as well, especially in cases when Braun is going to be on the bench, when AD might be on the bench, or more so Braun, not AD, in terms of that capacity, in terms of the assisting capacity. But in scoring, this
You
needs to
want to
stay
spend a lot
consistent.
of low.
But no, no, but that's possible. If you could do it, he does it in good stretches
Uh,
of the season. We just realistically need in the playoffs a 20 game stretch. Let's say 20 game stretch. Just be consistent. You don't need to be the best player on the team. You just need to be consistent enough to say, "Cause can we count on you for 20 points? You might get them in the fourth quarter, you might get them in the third quarter. We just need to get 20 points for the game. That's all we can ask for you, and maybe 5 to 6 assists. That's all we can do. But once D'Lo is consistent, the Lakers can maintain their form. And even before D'Lo was elevated his game after those trade rumors, Lakers were still playing well. Just as we said before, the West is so loaded that they have a low seeding, but they're still over a 500 team. So which means they've been winning games. So I mean, they've been doing something right. But once D'Lo stays consistent, Lakers right now the Lakers can make a jump. To be honest, to like the fifth or sixth seed, because right now the position, if I'm not mistaken, Lakers are ninth right now, but they're only one game behind the sixth seed, which is the Suns. One game, and right now they're tied. They have the same amount of wins as the Kings. So I mean, like they're not far off. They've played 2 more games. It seems 2 more games, but they have the same amount of wins. So I mean, anything can happen. So just need to stay consistent. Make sure everybody's injury free, and Lakers can make it out to the playing tournament.
Yeah,
Playoffs,
it's
here we
possible.
go.
It's possible. I think D'Lo, as you say, is the real X factor for the Lakers. LeBron and AD has been quite consistently performing for the team all season long, and they've just
As
needed
as, as
somebody else
usual,
to really step up. No, I can't say as usual. AD has been
he has his moments, but for the
infamous
most
for
part,
his
he has his
Man, man,
moments.
stop
disappearing
that
acts like
idea quick.
Houdini.
Man,
No,
man, stop that idea
yeah,
quick, Hakim.
exactly.
Nah,
You know we talking about this. What you talking about? Talk.
Get out of here with that.
You know it exactly.
I hope you all know that
it,
a 0.01 probability is also a possibility. So when you all say possibility, I'd be like, all right, sure. I mean, at this point, anything is a possibility.
Very much so.
But
Uh,
I think with the trend with D'Lo, I think that trend going to stop right at the beginning of playoffs.
that would be just such a D'Lo thing to happen. You know, that would be crazy.
Right at the start. I mean, if they do keep the ball afloat, he might warm back up because he might, realize the task at hand, and then he might, start get going again. Especially if the rest of the team have a good general performance, he might find out as some type of motivation. But bro, I feel like at the beginning of any series, no, if you counting on D'Lo, keep your fingers crossed.
It's true.
we're not asking much of D'Lo. We're just asking him to get about 20 points.
Yeah,
Not asking a whole lot.
I
He's
think he's
capable of doing it. He's been the man just scored 44 points. The man can score points. The man can score buckets. And let's not forget he was
Ma-
leading. He was
Hakeem
leading,
always looking at the highest point of the graph and the
and
lowest
not
point of
forget
the
he was
graph.
leading.
Come on.
He led the Brooklyn Nets to the playoffs years ago. He was the main man in Brooklyn. So the man can score points. The man is a legitimate bucket getter. We asking for 34. We just asking for a 20 here and there. Just chip in. If you ain't getting 20s, make sure you get 10 assists plus. Just do that. Spread the rock. Spread the wealth. That's all we asking. We asking much.
I hear you,
Simple.
coach. I hear you. We will see what happens though. But yeah, just to quickly touch on Luca, like for the entire season, I feel like he's been a little bit under the radar in terms of it's like certain conversations and what's not. But
don't
like
sugarcoat it. MVP conversations. Let me say.
there you go.
Let me say.
This man averaging
I know
35
Hakeem
points,
opening. He's so.
averaging 35 points, and a triple double in the last 5 games. Like that's like we already know the man got the talent, the ability to do whatever you need him to do. He just needed support. And
Yeah.
The man got
to
Kyrie.
be honest, ain't really
What more
much to
support you want? The man got Kyrie.
you
Kyrie
need
missed a
more
lot of
than
games, bro. Kyrie
you
missed
need
like
more
over
more than
27
one
games for the
man.
season. B.
You got
Like
the man. You got Kyrie. I would take Kyrie any day.
you got AD. Why you need D'Lo? Why you need Austin Reeves? Why you need Rui? Why you need all these other players,
None,
buddy?
none of those
Come
players are
on,
Kyrie.
Hakeem.
Come on. Well, AD
Come
exception.
on.
Burn AD. But come on, man. D'Lo for
Don't do
Kyrie?
that,
I
Hakeem.
would
Don't do
give
that.
D'Lo and Austin Reeves could go for Kyrie. Playing the way Kyrie playing no and Mavs
Hear the hear the
bring
man.
back Kyrie.
hear you, man. I hear you, Hakeem. I hear you. Thoughts though, guys. Thoughts on Luca. I mean, obviously there ain't much to say about the man. Like,
Yeah, mine is spectacular. The only thought I got is that I know why he isn't getting as much MVP buzz, but Luca has been arguably the best individual player this season, really and truly. Because even in these last couple of games, I think they're like 3-3. He's been averaging a 35-point triple double, never done before over the last 6 games, never done before in NBA history. So he's breaking records for individual achievements, but we always say with individual success, if you're that good, then team success should follow. And that has been the knock on him, and understandably so, like putting up these big numbers, but the winning just isn't there. And to Hakeem, Kyrie missed a lot of games for the season, 20 something games already. So Luka has been doing a lot of carrying while Kyrie's been old. So you got to take that into
Luka's a
consideration as
young
well.
buck.
Yeah, understand. But I mean, if Kyrie was there for more games, they probably might have been in the top 5 in the West now.
Yeah,
But the league don't work off of ifs. What is what is.
exactly.
They're
And zero
probably
point
gonna
zero
finish.
either.
Yeah, they're probably gonna finish it playing either 7th or 8th. I don't know. I don't trust that they will elevate themselves as a team through this final stretch of the NBA season. I think
Yeah.
they will stay pretty much where they are, and we'll have to this playing race in the West could be a gauntlet. Boy, this give me like playoff series that we can watch. So
Yeah.
shout out to Luka for putting up these numbers, as always doing some magical stuff on the basketball court. Um, wish he was in the MVP conversation more, but understandably, the team
his time will
success
come
isn't
a year,
there.
a couple years.
Yeah, yeah.
His time will come a couple years down from now for
I
sure.
feel like every year we say
Almost
that,
a
but he's still
couple
a young.
years.
Yeah.
He's
I
relatively
mean,
young and he's a
Mhm.
baller. He's a legitimate baller. So
my
I just think
you shouldn't have anything to do with it. Like last week, we was talking about all these factors that should have to do with some of these awards. Shouldn't have anything to do with any of these awards, in my opinion. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. I feel
I
like
agree.
that's that's unnecessary, to be honest. I think though he actually is going up against pretty good players. Like
Yeah,
I don't think
they
it
just.
has anything to do with you. Like you
Mhm.
gotta get past um Joel Embiid. Obviously he's injured, but guys like
Mhm.
him, guys like Giannis, guys like
Shea,
Jokic,
Jokic,
yeah,
yeah.
like
he got a lot of players. But I mean, he's there. He just once again, if he was on a win, if he has a winning record, he will obviously be
yeah,
directly in the conversation. So his time will
Yeah.
come. I don't want to see the Mavs. I don't see the Mavs being in this capacity for the foreseeable future. I think they're going to get their act together. Eventually, it's going to be a circle of life. So you never know. Next year could be the year. Next 2 3 years could be the year. So
Mhm.
then we'll already see Luka in that MVP conversation as seriously,
Yeah.
not early, but throughout the entire season, even to this point.
I think there's a conversation that is to be had about Lucas' style of play and its relationship to success or winning. To some extent, we can have that conversation at a different time, but I feel like that's something that you gotta look at now, because it's been like a couple of years now where we think he should be playing
Yep.
for MVP, and the team doesn't have his success, even though he's playing in numbers. So it's
So
probably a conversation around that
yeah,
somewhere.
is he not being able to distribute the ball well enough? I guess team involved is a lot. You could go on this for
Yeah,
sure. This is a serious
yeah,
debate
yeah,
later on for sure. But
yeah, yeah.
but
any other.
switching gears, man.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Hans.
Because I was going to ask if there's any other quick NBA topics that stood out
All
to you
right,
guys last week.
send
That
it
you guys,
forward.
I mean,
All
person
right.
get 10 minutes. That's
Yeah,
something. Like, yeah,
but that was a bet. We had a bet on that. I feel like we had a
Well,
bet saying that the
I
Pistons
said we
wouldn't
get
have yet.
I said we get 10 wins. I believe we get more than
Okay.
10. 'Cause my hypothesis was as the season gets closer to the completion, teams are gonna start resting players, and then
Mhm.
mhm.
Pistons and start getting up the wins. I mean, they're not at that point yet. Well, I would say they're at that point yet, but they get more than 10. They get more than 10 for sure. I would think it's saying
Probably.
around 13 to 15. That was my region. That was my region
Mhm.
there.
they're not
Mhm.
incentivized to get any more rings, to be honest, because right now the race should be for the number one pick and be
Yeah,
as
but I
bad
mean,
as possible so you get the number one
I
pick.
think they're still. I think they're still. They're like far
That's
behind.
true.
I
Nah,
mean, I don't think
the
even they
Wizards,
going
the
to.
Wizards.
Where the
The
Wizards only one
tickets gotta
above
be
them.
like $2 a seat,
Oh
and
my,
like
the Wizards.
$20 front for like a court side seat
Jeez,
or something.
imagine that. I didn't realize the Wizards was
The
that
Wizards
bad. I
already
thought it.
eliminated from the playoff contention.
That's
W-
crazy.
Like if we actually had to have relegations in NBA, I feel like that would make NBA even more interesting.
But then, so you promoting a GD team?
Wait, why not?
But the funny thing is about that is you can't do that because G League teams affiliated with
With
actual
the first
NBA
teams.
teams. So is that you have got two NBA teams
Yeah.
as
Mhm.
if your team has a G League team, then you have got two NBA teams. So you got two chances to win the championship. That's double the money in a sense.
Is yeah.
Yeah, understood. I mean, is really just the way it's set up, to be honest. But yeah, that's fair.
All right. Well, switching gears, man, to F2. This was a not the most action-packed weekend, but we have some highlights here. So right now, Zane Maloney. Shout out to Zane. He had some difficulties in qualifying. He actually started his position in the 15th position, but in the sprint, he was able to move up to the fourth, and in the feature to seventh. Hans, Ray, what are your thoughts on his performance?
Hey, you see what behind me?
Hey,
Boy from Barbados, buddy. Uh,
whoa.
big shout outs to Zane, man. Yo,
It's true.
actually, on Instagram, right?
Mhm.
I read one of the posts how he was feeling, um, bogged down a little bit about, you know, having that hydraulic issue with the car and not being able to qualify like he wanted to qualify. And I commented. I don't usually comment on posts really, but I commented, "Don't feel bad, buddy. Podium for you this weekend." And he missed it by just one position in the
It's
sprint
yeah,
race. I mean,
yeah.
like I was in my head saying, no, if he had to actually get podium, how how insane that would have been. That I
Mhm.
said that just before the race, and he got it. But big shout outs to him, man. He did a very good job in staying out of the carnage. The start was as anybody would expect in F2. Everybody want to get through the corner at the same time,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
guys
And a
hitting
whole
guys,
bunch of
tagging
wreckage.
guys,
Exactly.
exactly spins, all type of thing, and he did a really good job to get out of that. And I think kind of just made the most of the situation, like capitalize where he could. He was very racy in the sprint race, not as
Mhm.
racy. I guess the other teams took a step forward in the feature race,
Yeah.
but in his sprint race, like he was really on it. So big shout outs to Zane, man. Zane doing big things.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I would just echo pretty much the same to you. He made the best out of what he could have done given the start. Um, I don't know. What I got an interesting question for you, huh? Um,
Yeah.
I know the F2 cars are all pretty much made by the same, or handled by the same
Yeah, it's
company.
the
And
same manufacturer.
yeah, same manufacturer. I know in F1 is a lot of big emphasis. Well, this team can't get this started. What are the comments when what are the comments when in F2, given they got one manufacturer, the comments
Mhm.
around the manufacturer not being able to start out the vehicles? Like, I don't know, is
Well,
there
that's the thing. You can't blame it on the manufacturer. So in F1 is a manufacturer and team of the car.
yeah, right.
So Redbull is their car's manufacturer basically.
Mhm.
Same as Mercedes, same as anybody else. Haas is their manufacturer of their car. In F2, everybody basically went in the shop, went in the car shop, buy the same car from the man and
Yeah.
say, all right, yeah, let me go racing. Let me see who's the best. So
Yeah.
F2 really shows the skill of the drivers, but
Drivers,
not just the
yeah.
skill of the drivers, but the ability of the team to set up the car for the track. So,
Mhm.
l- like everybody got the same platform, but how are you going to set up your engine maps? How are you going to set up your balance on the car to suit the driver so he can get the best out of it? Like all these like minor changes that you can make to make a big difference in the race. And I think that's why F2 is so racy, so
Mhm.
exciting to watch with all these young fast drivers. But they got some teams that just got the expertise and gets it right. Prema is one of them. We saw Ollie Bearman get pole
Yeah, they,
position in that race and then get called
yeah,
up to Ferrari to
yeah.
replace Carlos Sainz.
Mhm.
Um, so
I
I
see your
mean,
boy Antonelli having a good session uh in the
he
last
had a
race.
decent one. He
Yeah,
had a
decent
decent
one.
one. Like he
Not too
fought
bad, not too
hard.
shabby.
Very
Yeah.
yeah. I was shall be pretty impressed by the way he fought. I mean, he had a boy from Barbados behind him. I mean,
Yeah,
he tried
yeah,
to hold off a lot of them.
yeah, but
Um,
yeah,
I honestly don't think Zane had the boots at the time that late in the race to really
yeah,
attack him.
yeah, correct.
But if he could, he probably would have made up that
Hmm.
position as well. But yeah, I would give a shout out to Antonelli as well for
Yeah.
because he's a rookie. He skipped F3.
Mhm.
That's a pretty big jump, to go from F4 to F2. But if you're great, you're great. If you're good, Matt skip F2. I
Mhm.
mean, I know he's a
Really.
champion, right? So hey, big shout outs to him, but even bigger shout outs to Ollie
What's
Bearman.
his-
What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
his F1 debut?
man, I think he do the best that he could. I think he had a pretty as good as a as good a first race as a rookie could have. You don't think so? Like, come on, man.
Hey,
The qualifying, I feel like the qualifying would probably had to be the most nerve wracking part of the race for him. Like at the weekend, I would say for the most part. I
Mhm.
feel like that's be the most competitive part of the F1 slate as of recent for the most
yeah,
part.
yeah,
And
one lap pace.
coming in, yeah, coming in, he did have some good party sessions and stuff. So maybe that easy nerves a little bit, but I felt like that's where it would have been most nerve wracking for him, and he came out and did well. So I think that really boosts his confidence going into the race. He came out, hold off Lewis for the seventh place. So what
Yeah.
better result than that, Like, come on,
He could have answered a
a
better start.
beautiful entry into, yeah, exactly, a beautiful entry into the F1 circuit, man.
You think he has a shot in 2025? You
Oh,
think he has a
of
seat
course.
with like 13 drivers having like this 1 year contract?
I ain't know about that part. I ain't sure. Maybe.
It's possible.
But I think how long is Saints going to be out? All right, Saints might be
No,
back for the next race, probably.
I think Sainz will be back for Australia. I
Yeah.
mean, he
Okay.
has 2 weeks to recover, so there's
Hmm.
not going to
Is that
be any F1
has enough
this
for
week,
surgery?
unfortunately. Yes, he had appendicitis, and he had to get surgery.
Is that 2 weeks
So
is enough to recover?
hey, these are athletes, man. Athletes recover whenever they feel like.
When
So
they had a toothache.
He may got special care too. So hey,
hey, when you're making millions per year,
I get on,
exactly.
hey,
I get on
Things just
race.
get
yeah,
speed up, boy. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I honestly want to see him in Australia because I think that's a fair equalizer track in a sense. Still think Redbull ahead. Ain't no doubt. Like Redbull won 2 in Saudi this
Yeah, this
weekend.
weekend. Hmm.
Again, nothing crazy to shout about. Perez had a penalty, but Charles still couldn't get
It
him
didn't even
within the
matter.
window.
Exactly.
Yeah, like but I get it. As he started the season, everybody got fairly new packages and trying to figure out and work out what their package could do against the Rebels. But that shouldn't be an excuse because Rebel got a
Yeah,
new package too. So,
exactly. I just
you
can't say
know,
like everybody been figuring out for the past 2 seasons and they still ain't figured yet. Like,
yes, figure that.
exactly. So I don't
So,
know. It's so disappointing that the highlight of the race weekend is qualifying, where it is the
mhm.
most competitive. And then from there, you know what it's pretty much expect for the race, especially when Max get even when Max would go to 10th, start 10th, and still run that race by at least 10 seconds. So
I
Yeah.
it was funny when they actually saw it. I saw the video, the clip on Instagram when he was in, like someone recorded real life footage. So when he was in first, and he passed, let's say one party track, and then the distance and the time, it felt like an eternity from when the second driver came, Perez came. I was like, this is mad. I cannot like that must be like you must be in so much awe at the skill and the level, the capacity of this car. At the same time, on the other hand, they must be saying it's kind of boring. Because like
Mhm.
there's no
Yup.
competition up there. But
Yeah.
that felt surreal. It was like, oh my god. I was like, oh my god.
Well, they say sometimes success is boring, so Max don't mind the boring.
That's for sure. I heard one of the drivers say that they actually enjoy boring races. They don't like races where they gotta be like neck and tuck behind people or trying to get passes or whatever. They like
Oh,
alone races with them by
True,
themselves,
true, true.
just you know,
sound like
enjoying
Max.
the ride.
Singing
Nah,
hums in your
actually
head.
it was Albon. Albon said that.
Boy, you
I
got
was
ways to go.
I was I was surprised, but I guess I get it because when you fighting at them high speeds, like is real stressful and
Yeah.
heart rate probably through the roof. Heart
Hmm.
rates like two 200 plus easily. So I get it, but at the same time, for the fans, the fans want to see some action anyway. So
Yeah, man.
yeah. Um, one thing that I found interesting though was that McLaren wasn't able to catch Mercedes on the straights. They're running the same engine. Obviously, we could all say no. Yeah, McLaren had a dry gear car, but that was pretty interesting to see. So, are we saying now that the pecking order is probably Red Bull,
50.
Ferrari, Mercedes, then McLaren?
I mean, wouldn't you say that Mercedes had a rather disappointing weekend? This despite being able to beat McLaren on the straights, I feel like they had a disappointing weekend. They still finished top 10, but it seemed pretty
Mm,
mediocre. On a track, I would say that people felt like things would have been a little bit more even. I even heard
yeah,
Matt said it from the last race. I felt like they could have been better. Russell did have some decent qualifying session at first, but then I can't remember where he started. Where did he start? I
fifth,
can't
fifth or
remember.
sixth? Yeah,
Fifth or
I
something
can't
like that.
remember either.
Yeah,
It,
but
it was not a position to remember, to be
yeah,
honest.
exactly. So even with that said, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in Mercedes kind of figuring out for the rest of the team. I feel like they could be middling, and I would put more faith in McLaren, even though it's been detailed that they've had a lot more issues or a lot more things to start out than Mercedes has. I
Mhm.
put more faith in McLaren figuring it out a little bit sooner than Mercedes, given
Yeah.
the recent history. I don't think that could be the case. Maybe for even the next race. Um, really, truthfully speaking, so we see how it goes in
Yeah.
that regard. But um, it is interesting that was the case in last race. But who
Mhm.
knows? As you say, I don't know all these specs or all these specifics, all the different setups and stuff like that. This play a role into all that sort of stuff too. So,
Yeah.
um, or it might be just a driver thing in this specific case because if you got the same power unit, then like why that's the case. But
Nah, nah, it's cars too.
uh,
Because
I,
again,
I,
everybody don't got the same car in F1.
yeah,
So
well, yeah, true.
yeah.
So,
With Max and Perez though, that's a different story. You could always compare teammates. So like
mhm,
For
mhm.
sure.
you could compare Lewis and George Russell. You could compare Lando and Oscar Piastri.
Yeah, Piastri.
Yeah, so you could always compare teammates. But yeah, man, I think it was a decent weekend. 2 weeks till Melbourne.
Mhm.
Looking forward to that race. Daniel Ricardo is not going to perform at his home race, unfortunately.
Nope, he looks
Oscar
terrible out
Piastri will
there.
be
To be honest,
Oscar
I ain't gonna
Piastri is
lie to
going
you.
to be the homeboy superstar, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah.
If all goes well, of course. Um, yeah, looking forward to the next 2 weeks. So unfortunately, people, there would not be any F1 topics next week
Yeah.
unless some juicy news come
Some
through
news, yeah.
that we definitely got to address.
On the
It's
Ricardo
been
note,
there.
though,
It's been spicy. Yeah.
I just feel that he going through the paces at this point. I don't know if you get that away from me. It just feel like he driving just because he got the opportunity to drive the F1 car and thing. But I guess that's what's happening when you know that you don't got a competitive car at all. Well, not necessarily,
Mm,
but not necessarily. Let me
maybe,
not say that. Maybe,
but
maybe.
I I don't think that's the case. I think he's just slow now. I think uh,
He's an old man.
yeah, I
Reflexes
think
in the
he
same.
on walkers right now, man. He on walkers. Like the rest of the guys, the rest of the guys really active,
Yeah,
and running circles from Ricardo. Um, I
But
think the first measurement is against your teammate. If you can't match
yeah,
your teammate
yeah.
or
He
like
definitely, yeah.
at least compete against your teammate, then
excuse
you
me.
don't have it.
Good
But
So
point,
Hans,
Hans.
I
yes,
heard you
sir.
mention some juicy information. The birds were talking, and I heard a little tweet saying that Max Max will be looking to leave Red Bull and join Mercedes. This is
Yeah,
the birds.
that'd be
Uh,
interesting. The birds chirping for real. And I guess is a whole lot of ruckus, but ruckus in the realms of what do you call that propaganda
Yeah, exactly.
um
Exactly. That's just
and
somebody they're trying to stir some news up.
being gypsy, like,
Hmm.
trying to be malicious in a way. But
you
I
know,
don't think Matt's going
you know,
anywhere, bro.
when
You see
when they
where
said
Red Bull at.
you see when Lewis said when people said Lewis might be looking to leave and go Ferrari a year or so ago, and people said, "Nah, that's nonsense." It'd be very intrigued to see if Max leaves.
But the
But
difference
hey,
is,
all these signs are there. Yeah, go ahead,
yeah,
Raven.
yeah, the difference is Lewis' contract was going to be up soon. So that's the difference. He must got a contract of 28, dog. Like, gee, there's no way that there's no way. If it was Max, I would never even be thinking about leaving, boy.
Hey,
I mean,
the bird,
dominating like this.
the birds chirping. When the birds chirp, you go listen to the chirp sometimes and see what it's saying.
That's true. That's true. But Matt's ain't going nowhere. There is some tension in Red Bull, some juicy tension
Mhm.
between
Yeah,
Matt's
with
dad and the team
yeah,
principal and
correct.
who's leaving. But hey, the team performing immaculate as a team right now, as a cohesive unit. This
Yeah.
team is doing wonders. Like dominating races so far. They're perfect for the season. Doing 1-2s, get all the pole positions. Um, what can you say about a team that seems to the outside world to be broken down on the inside, but
It's
still
a
coming out together and performing on the day? So
mhm.
hey, I will let the birds chirp. I actually love to hear the birds chirp. Is a soothing sound to the ears.
Yeah,
Very
beautiful
relaxing.
song, boy.
Yeah, you want to hear the birds, especially when you're on the beach. So let the birds chirp, man. But yeah, that's basically it for F1. Like we just gotta wait and
Mhm.
see what else unfolds for the season.
All right.
All right.
Marquee matchups for the week, MBS edition. Wolves at Clippers. Let's get the week started. That is tomorrow night.
Clippers.
Who you got?
Clippers.
Well,
Clippers.
what about you, Hans?
Cat out, boy. Gobert out too.
They
I
predict
ain't
they
sure. I
Clippers.
think Gobert might be. Oh, I game with the Clippers, boy. I
You
don't
know,
even here
I'm
know
like,
because I don't know who give it there. I don't know who give it there.
it sounds like a pickup league. It's like, yo, man, you coming to play or what you you out? Was very
I
missing
started to
now,
see it.
man.
I started to go against my team,
Here
but
hurt.
I mean looking
Yeah,
good. I mean the
man, like nah,
Clippers.
here hurt.
The Clippers had a early game yesterday. I watched a little bit of it. They may have Kawhi or Paul George, but I think they'll be back for this game. So you got arrested Kawhi and Paul George versus a Timberwolves team that fight a little bit against the Lakers last night and down so many players. We never know who could be playing Tuesday. Hey, Clippers, Clippers, you got my pick. Sorry to
This
say
is the
it.
first time people in history
They're very
that
going against his
a
team.
supporter of the team on the hot
That's not so.
struggles.
I went against Wolves already.
For real?
That team
Yeah,
is
I'm pretty
playoffs.
sure I went
No,
against Wolves in the
Was it
prediction.
playoffs?
Maybe it would have been. Nah, not in
there's
the
no
playoffs.
way.
I picked the Wolves against the Nuggets last year. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure at least once in the regular season prediction, I probably pick against the Wolves.
Mhm.
but maybe not this
Hey,
definitively though. I certain about this one.
this actually might be the preview game for Ant to show his colors and
He
he,
should. I would love it. I would like
yeah.
to be wrong for this prediction, to be honest, because that's another win. That's another
Can't get
win. But
much. Trying to get
I
both
can't go
ways, boy.
against. I. I mean, I could. I could. I mean, it's a win-win for me. If the Clipper,
True.
if the Wolves lose, the Clippers win.
Uh,
that's that's
So
one way of looking at it. That's
so
what
you
exactly.
you hedging the bet.
Yeah. I
you win
mean,
money
win or
either
lose.
way. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
that's fair. Just for the records, I go with Clippers as well.
Very
We got
easy.
Nuggets at Heat as
Ooh,
our next
Nuggets.
matchup.
I
The
mean,
day
I mean the
As
after.
I
Nuggets. It's funny. Nuggets is a team that when they we talk about flipping the switch. Right now, the Heat, they're not the best team right now, but it's still going Nuggets.
I thought you was
yeah.
gonna say about against the go the Heat. I was
No,
like,
the
where the
Nuggets,
sentence
Nuggets tend
going?
to turn off sometimes against the teams that are not performing well. But I said Nuggets know to get wins. Jimmy Butler's been someone that he brings out the best in the opponent. The way his playing
Yeah.
style. He's more so
But
playoff Jimmy, but he still brings out the best. People love to beat Jimmy Butler. So I think Nuggets and will step up their game, elevate their game.
man, people love to beat Jimmy, but
Wait
fair
till
enough. I
life.
like that. I like because he's got a lot of talk, right? So I think that's
Yeah.
the reason.
He said something.
Yeah, I
He
think
said
the
something
Nuggets.
outlandish recently too, but I can't remember. It was something outlandish. I was
Yeah,
like, come on,
it's
come
about the
on.
fact that if he's down two and they need a tree to win the game,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
always take the
yeah,
tree.
yeah, yeah. I was taking three. I was like, come
Like man,
on,
he's hard
come
even
on,
at trees. What do you-
come on, Jimmy. You can take the game and D up.
Uh,
Get defense, play on defense. But Jimmy, man, Jimmy.
Ben would say you did great today, Jimmy. At the end of the day, I can go with the Nuggets though. I'm not messing
yeah,
about.
I'm
So we
messing
all
about
choosing the
either.
same team.
Yeah, boy.
I have to. I mean,
This is
it's just
Spider-Man
one of
me
these
week, boy.
weeks.
This is
Yeah.
Spider-
uh
boy.
if it is what it is. What's the next matchup,
How's-
Hakeem? What's the matchup that you got?
The next matchup is Mavs at Thunder.
Hmm.
Oof.
I go with Thunder.
That's a tight
I love
game there.
Miles,
That's
but
a
Yeah, that's a tough one. I ain't gonna
I
lie.
go with Thunder. OKC. Sorry, Kyrie. I like to see you play, by the way, but
it's Mavs at
it's all
Thunder
for
too.
points.
Yeah, they got one of the
I going
best win
Mavs. I think
records
I'm
in
going
the
to
league.
Mavs.
Right, you gotta take a fly on something. Um, yeah, I know what this one. They might. Hmm.
I feel like because the Mavs are still winning. It's still winning games. It's still unpredictable. But I got the Mavs for this one.
I guess play safe and go with the Thunder. I feel like this might be a game that the Mavs turn up for because it is one. Well,
Must
I
win
don't
for
think
them.
because we already been looking at that stuff, but yeah, to some extent, one it could. I guess you could use this as a point of reference if Luka get more consideration for MVP, which I don't think he will. But in terms of the
Yeah,
conference standings and
he needs to
setting
win.
some
Yeah,
sort of tone for what could be the first round matchup in the playoffs, I feel that he may go a little bit bonkers in this one if he could to try to make a statement. So uh, I go with the Thunder though, just being a little bit conservative, being a little safe. Thunder for me.
Well done, boys. Very well done.
Oh. So I don't know if you guys got anything else. I think that's a
Nah,
wrap.
I don't have anything else as well.
that's a wrap. Pop the juice box. It's over.
Can't relax with that boy. I ain't see a
Yo,
lot.
that's so much fun.
Yeah, I ain't see
Pop the juice
a lot.
box.
It's good to see
Yeah,
school children, no matter if I ain't a dark
Yeah,
place boy.
yeah. We work gym home with
that's, that's crazy. That's a
yeah.
crazy
Actually, I
observation. Like,
know to see them because Right, actually, especially these school girls. I
I
don't know
see a
when they
few.
on the road. I used to be like, them is walk across the road like the road is theirs. No other any car supposed to stop for them, especially these little school girls. I do not know what's their problem, but that's just a thing. That is just no,
Hey, let it out, buddy.
it,
This
see,
platform.
sometimes like with children is be a stupid schoolgirl crossing in front of my car, like my car don't exist. So I
You
don't
gotta
know.
jump them with the horn, big man. You
I don't
start
know.
with them, get the heart racing, get them on the
You
road.
feel like them if they can cross the road like that, you feel like that can start them.
I feel so. I feel so. I horn a good horn will start at anyone. Uh,
I don't think he meant to do that. I don't.
I don't think I don't think that was intense though.
uh,
You're putting intended or unintended, whichever it is. That's a
That is
legendary one.
hilarious. That is a clip. Hang on, like, oh my
uh,
I think that's a good
yo,
way to say it, man.
that got me
Whoa.
sweating, bro. Uh, I think that's a
That's a
good way to
legendary
end.
one.
Like,
Yeah.
that's you got 1,000% for that, Hakeem.
uh,
That's that's crazy.
Oh boy. Whoa.
You gotta put that on the banner, buddy. Drop down in the comments.
No, you gotta put as a sticker at the bottom of the car. That's the perfect place for
I,
it.
I cannot talk.
Double entendre.
Oh my
The
god,
put the
my
bottom.
belly. Ah, my belly. Oh god, I can fall. We gotta get that as a
Yeah,
clip.
that's fine.
It's crazy. Anyways, yeah, people's. Thanks for tuning in. If you stayed to the end, you got a good laugh. If you didn't, then that's just tough on you.
For
But
real.
yeah, I definitely enjoyed today. As always, people follow us on our social media, follow us on Instagram mostly. Also, come back and watch the streams on YouTube as well. We are on Spotify, so we be trying to get those audio only versions of the stream to you as soon as possible, as quickly as we can. But outside of that, hit that like button and stay tuned. My Astro Bro is doing big things now and in the near future to come as well. So stay tuned on the Astro Bro stream and we can see you later, family. Astro Bros out. Peace.